day is one that we waited for. Well, I waited for. You're a little scared about it.
I'm very nervous.
As you can see, we are at Universal Studios, Florida for Halloween Horror Nights. They are celebrating 30 years while Kiara is celebrating her first time ever to Halloween Horror Nights. Are you excited? No? Are you scared? You're spooked out? I'm excited. They did bring back Beetlejuice from last year. I heard that they tweaked it just a little bit. Now, I did not get to see it last year, but I'm hyped for it. And another house they brought back was Tooth Fairy, which is a story about these scary tooth fairies that are going to get you because you decided to take your tooth back instead of giving it to them to get your quarter. Yep. Then, of course, this being the 30th anniversary, we have Jack and a few of the others from the other years that they've done this. So I'm excited to see those because I've never seen them before. Because my first time to Halloween Horror Nights for myself was only 2 years ago. So I'm really excited about that. We're supposed to see a lot of monsters from over the last 30 years. So, of course we can't take you inside the houses. Yep, which means Kiara only gets to be scared without anyone seeing. We will show you the scare zones. There are a bunch of them. There always are at Halloween Horror Nights. We will talk you through the houses and how we like them or not like them. But that being said, it is time for us to go inside. The music is changing. The fog is starting. Let's get in there. Now, of course, we gotta start with the one we want to do the most, so we're going into Beetlejuice first. So I want to remind everyone here who comes to Horror Nights, don't feed the animals. Don't feed them. There's the facade, Beetlejuice. So that was our first house, Beetlejuice. How'd you like it?
It was supposed to be easy, and it wasn't. So now I'm scared.
It was totally easy. Yeah, you just don't remember the story at all.
Yes, I do.
Nope.
I feel like I just watched that movie. I watched it within a year, so.
I loved it. I think it did a great job sticking to the storyline. I don't know the difference between this year and last year because I didn't come last year. But it was great. We were missing someone though in one of our scenes, but that happens. It's understandable. Let's move on to a scare zone. Now they do have a Chucky photo spot, which is from a couple years ago when Chucky was in the scare zone. Now we are headed into Crypt TV. It says we're headed into a universe of monsters that are part of our reality.
I hate every part. No monsters should be part of our reality.
No monsters?
No monsters.
You're afraid to see these monsters every day?
Yeah.
Yeah? So, what you're saying is you're afraid of Krampus over there?
I watched
A horrible documentary on Krampus? They're part of the Purge. Look at them over there. I want to go over and see her. Whoa! Spooky. Whoa! I believe those are known as psychopaths. That is what it looks like to me. Excuse me, please. Thank you. Yep. Ooh, what is that? Whoa. I found his head. Did you find his head? Oh! Oof! Now I have been told that with that scare zone, just like with some of the other locations, those monsters are from older scare zones or older houses. Now I don't know any of them because I'm a terrible person and haven't been to Horror Nights before, and she's in the same boat. So, but to me they look cool.
I looked at the ground for the most part for that one.
But tell them what you just told me.
It's kind of nice for me because I don't want to be scared. Might suck if you do want to be scared because like they are back and away from you.
Right. Yep.
And it's very easy. Like they're not really like in your face like they were at SeaWorld.
Right. Yep.
It's very much a controlled situation because it's so much more crowded. Like there's probably.
Well, not just because it's crowded, but they're still working on the COVID effect. So they're trying to stay away from everyone as to not get it themselves or not to pass it to anyone.
Because like they have masks and their distance, where SeaWorld it was just a mask.
Right, and they were like up on top of us.
Yeah, they were. So, but so I don't know. Pro to some people, con to some people.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix because like I thought SeaWorld was a little bit more fun, but they're also not as scary. If I had some of those people up on top of me, nope.
Well,
they get bopped.
We are headed into another scare zone soon. We're now headed into Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy is about the controller, who is an AI, is turning humans into fuel with essentially no brains. They're kind of just walking around.
This one does look a little bit more in your face.
It does, yes.
They
are fully costumed. I see the searchlight. It's up there. Oh, she's hiding over there. They're gonna get her. Oh! Oh no! I think I see the controller down there. Obey. Oh no. The controller. What's going on over here? We're now headed into the tribute store. looks like a mansion in itself. It's right here. Look at these masks, hon. So in here are the different maps throughout the years. There's also buttons down there.
Team member buttons.
What's on this side?
27 icon. Bones. Alright. Rips from the silver screen.
As you can see, there's different versions of Jack through here too.
Yeah. I feel like he would definitely be a pretty fan favorite. That one looks scary.
Scream. Alright, let's head to the next room. Alive! It's alive!
Annual password.
It's got the houses on the back.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It looks like a pinball machine. You see it?
Mm-hmm. Typically they use like a arcade game to show off for the shirts.
That's
Like
inventive. I
a
like
couple years ago, it was an arcade game because one of the houses, not houses but scare zones, was an arcade. Yep. I love all these masks. It looks like the icons each have a bust. And then they're in front of their painting.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one guy from the 1 year that we just looked at.
Yeah.
One guy, you know, one guy from the 1 year.
He's like the Bell Services guy.
I like these guys.
And then this is the movie guy.
Yeah. Well, you look pretty cool. I wonder if he's from the silver screen. Interesting. Lots of history here.
Yep. What'd you find?
Some cute ears. They're horns and they have little flowers on them.
Oh look. Here's the one from a couple years ago. Oh, that's so cool in there.
That's cool. Is it that guy from a restaurant?
Big boy?
Yes. It says leave it to Cleaver. That sounds terrible.
It scared me.
No, that's the.
There's a Florida pin.
That's cool.
That's cool too.
Wow, it's definitely a collector's.
Yes.
Oh, here's the 30 Years of Fear shirt.
What's on the back of it? Oh, that looks so cool.
She looks like Harley Quinn. That's who she looks like.
Yes. But her name is Chance.
That makes sense though, because like, you know how all those games are Chance?
Yes. First there's Jack.
He's the big one.
It looks like they have a mystery pin set too. What house are we in now? The what?
House where people buy everything.
Oh, okay. The buy
Scariest
everything
of them
house.
all.
The I have no more money house.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The I go broke house.
Is this a hearse? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a carnival wagon. I get it.
They don't change it up very much in here for Halloween compared to like Mardi Gras. They look pretty much the same, except for like that room.
I don't know. I feel like it changes a lot in here.
This
I
right
mean,
here looks exactly the same.
This, a couple years ago, only had 3 rooms. 5. Here's some of the confectionaries that they have. Some cauldrons and some pumpkins and some glowy brains. Kiara, what's in here? Uh-oh. Township of Cary, Indiana. I was there a couple years ago. I didn't like it. We are now headed into Bride of Frankenstein. This is where the bride has realized that Frankenstein's monster is dead. And she has to bring him back to life. So she's bringing an undead Frankenstein's monster back to undead. Or is it unlife? I don't know which one it is. So we just got out of Bride of Frankenstein. I think it was a good house. I haven't seen the movie or read the book. There was an issue. I don't know what happened in the house. Whether somebody reached towards a performer or it was character switch out or whatever. We did end up stopped in it, which if you do any haunted event is just absolutely terrible because one, you get to hear the audio forever and ever, and then the performers don't know what to do because like
They kept going. They like were on their little loop, just doing their thing because they didn't stop, even though the line stopped. So it was awkward.
Yeah, but then the performer just sees you over and over. There's not much they can do except for what they're doing. Not Universal's fault at all, I don't think, because they're not the type that would do like a stop of the house in the middle of it. They typically stop the house ahead of time to do switch out to slow like down the house. Still a great house. We didn't get to see the last scene performance, which was a little sad. The one with Frankenstein's monster and her bringing him back to life.
It's like we just missed it because we saw them both standing there.
Right, they had just walked back into the room.
It's like they were just starting again or something.
Right, yep. So still a great house. I loved it. I typically like Universal Monsters. I've liked it the couple times that I've done it. So yeah, I liked it. Not my favorite though. We are headed into Halloween Horror Nights icons to sort of see what that's all about because like we said, we haven't been here, so we don't know what the icons are. I mean, we sort of know, we know the names. We just don't know what they're from. Look at the courthouse. It looks awesome. We just got out of Halloween Horror Nights Icons. I don't know about you, I loved it.
I was looking down the whole time. I was scared.
She's a little bit of a scaredy cat right now. She's been through a little bit. But I liked it, even though I don't know the stories behind Jack, the Usher, the Undertaker, Chance, who else? We saw Fear, right? The storyteller. Chance. So even though I don't know those stories, it was just kind of cool to see like the way that they built the house around them to tell the little tidbits of like stories that they had. As we walked in, there's this huge gate right at the beginning. Really cool.
It was really cool.
And it's got these like little puppeteer things that were like
they're
each of their
icons,
characters.
right?
Yeah. So I think they did an incredible job telling the little bit of the stories. And there's also Easter eggs in each scene. So when you walk through, keep an eye out. There are shirts from the years that they are the icons on their victims. So pay attention to that because that was really cool. When we walked into the usher room, into the theater, there were like 3 victims that had shirts on.
That's what I was looking at, basically all the props more than the actors.
Right. I love that house. I would have to say, so far, that is my favorite Universal IP house. So now we are headed over to another scare zone, which is 30 Years, 30 Fears. So let's get going. Where'd you go?
They say that is art.
Pirate. Ooh, he's tall. You see him?
Not a safe in charge.
He looks cool. Headed into Lights, Camera, Action, Eddie's Revenge. We got to see that earlier today, but now there's performers in it. So we're going to look. Look, he's clowning around.
It's time to
There's a lot of fog through here.
Watch out, kids. Eddie's all wrapped up.
There it is, 30 years of fear. And then Mel's Dine-In becomes Mel's Die-In. All the smoke. Now we're headed into Case Files Unearthed, Legendary Truth. Headed into Earthen's Gore. Whoa. new houses. It's not an IP. There's no movie to go with it. It's just really cool. And what really brings it together is New York Street. It is really loud here because we do have a scare zone down the street, which is Seek and Destroy. But you follow like this detective, and you know what scare really got me? You know the woman that's like singing on the stage and then she like screams at somebody? It wasn't even directed towards us. It was directed towards somebody behind us, and it was just offhand because I was expecting the mannequins here. I mean, anytime you see a mannequin, you're like, yep, somebody's in here, and they're wearing a mask. But they really bring it together in New York. And the way that they do that is while you're walking through, you go into the Kitty Cat Club, which is actually right here, right where we're at. And there it is. And we actually went into the entrance of the Kitty Cat Club, which actually is the Film Vault store. But it's still right here.
It's weird how it's so identical.
It is. It's really close. And then on the other side, through the house, you go into his like investigation location, and right now the only light that is lit on New York is his investigation office. We actually saw this from the back with him standing in the window, which is really cool. Of course the other like street lights are still lit up, but like the building lights are still all turned off. So I think that was a cool touch to bring that into Universal. I think they did a great job with the house. I would have to say that is my favorite house, even over Tooth Fairy, because Tooth Fairy was pretty scary. I don't like it. Now we didn't do Texas Chainsaw Massacre because, you know, if we want to be scared by that, we watched the movie, you know. And there were, what, 3 other houses we didn't do? We didn't do either of the shows because they're dancing shows. Not that they're bad, they just take up a whole bunch of time. Let's see, let's pull up. We did do the Wicked Growth, but we kind of just offhandedly did it. So we didn't record that we were going into it. But the Wicked Growth is essentially like pumpkins are starting to grow, jack-o'-lanterns, and then they're kind of taking over. We didn't really mention it much because it is sort of like your typical haunted house event, because it's just an easy story to create. Not that it was bad, it was still good, it's just the standard. What else? We didn't do 3 houses, 4 houses?
Theater, Scary Horror in the Heartland.
Scary Horror in the Heartland is sort of like going through somebody's house of murderers, essentially, right?
It's already scary enough if you're in Ohio, so
Yeah.
The Haunting of Hill House, because
It was too scary for Kiara.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
And then Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. So we are coming to around 11 o'clock. The event tonight closes at 1. But we are a little tired. We've had sort of a long day, and we do have to get out of here. But like I said, we didn't do Texas Chainsaw Massacre because if we want to be scared by it, we could watch it on TV. Same with The Haunting of Hill House is the same thing. It's on a Netflix show. I did watch Haunting of Bly House and I like that, so I think going back and watching Haunting of Hill House would be really cool. But I don't want to do that until after I see it. And then Scary Ohio is like, you're in the middle of Ohio, so you're gonna be pretty weary anyway, right? I mean, being in the middle of Texas is the same way. It's essentially Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, by the way, Kiara did not know was a real story.
Now I don't want to watch it at all. That's the disrespect.
Now that we're out of the park, few things to be said. One, good and bad thing about Halloween Horror Nights. Everyone is pushed in a conga line. It is not like that at Howl-O-Scream, either Busch Gardens or at SeaWorld. They space you out. Now the reason why I said it's a good or a bad thing is if you're like Kiara, who gets scared for jump scares, you don't get them as much.
I feel like they constantly happen still.
They do, but they don't happen to you every time. So it's good if you're afraid of being scared, but it's bad if you want to get scared. Good and bad thing about Universal is they have intellectual properties. That can be a good thing because, like Beetlejuice and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can watch those movies in advance. So you know what's coming at you because they typically follow the storyline dead on when they go through the house. Did you get that feel in Beetlejuice?
Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to be like that in every IP house.
Yes, it's going to be that way in every IP house. Now, Halloween Horror Nights icons, I called it an IP house. The reason why I did that is because it is their intellectual property. Jack is theirs, but there isn't any movie. And it's also not a new story. They're just retelling stories. Now, I do have to say that I am absolutely proud of Kiara tonight because she was completely out of her comfort zone. She's not used to doing this, and she got pretty scared this evening. They got her good. So I love you, and I'm very proud of you this evening. That is 2 weeks of going into haunted houses, which you've never done, and I think you did a great job.
Can we be done with haunted houses now?
I think so. I think it's time for us to be done with that and move on to other things like food and wine. Or I do believe Magic Kingdom's coming up on their 50th anniversary, so we're gonna start doing some stuff like that too. So hopefully we can get in Busch Gardens with Dad. We will see, but that's not gonna be a Kiara thing. That being said, it is time for us to get out of here. So keep laughing with us.
Driving life.
And bye, guys.